Principles of misdirection familiar to magicians were evident in many of the great British covert operations of World War II, such as deceiving Hitler into thinking the 1943 Allied invasion from North Africa would target Greece, rather than its true target, Sicily. This was the conjurer's stage management applied to a continent-sized theater. The manual Mulholland produced for the CIA does not read the way a book for experienced magicians would read. He is clearly addressing an amateur audience and takes care to explain things in the simplest of terms. Yet he draws on the underlying principles of magic to explain how intelligence officers could avoid detection in the midst of various clandestine acts. A case can be made that Mulholland's instruction influenced the more mundane aspects of espionage tradecraft, how to surreptitiously acquire and conceal various materials, for example. As best we know, however, the methods he designed for more aggressive actions, clandestinely delivering pills and powders into an adversary's drink, for example, were never actually used. The fact that he was asked to contemplate such things is emblematic of a unique moment in American history. American leaders, during the early Cold War, felt the nation existentially threatened by an adversary who appeared to have no scruples. Mulholland's writing on delivery of pills, potions, and powders was just one example of research carried out back then in fields as diverse as brainwashing and paranormal psychology. Many such efforts that seem bizarre today are understandable only in the context of those times, the formative years of the Cold War. These were also the formative years for the American intelligence community. It is important to remember that this was a very new field for the United States. Most other countries had long before integrated espionage into the national security toolkit. The Chinese strategist Sun Tzu had written about it in sophisticated terms in the 6th century BC, and older countries, such as Britain, Russia, and France, had been at it for centuries. While the United States had used intelligence episodically, it was not organized at a national-level effort until 1947, and our young country struggles still today with its proper place in our national security strategy. I doubt many intelligence officers today would recognize John Mulholland's name, but the essence of his contribution had little to do with notoriety or fame. It was, in effect, to help the nation's early intelligence officers think like magicians. Given the close kinship between these two ancient arts, that was a significant contribution indeed, and one that continues in stealthy ways that Mulholland would probably admire to this very day. Introduction. The Legacy of MKULTRA and the Missing Magic Manuals. Magic and intelligence are really kindred arts. John McLaughlin, former Deputy Director of Central Intelligence. In 2007, the authors discovered a long-lost CIA file, once classified top secret, which revealed extraordinary details of the agency's connection to the world of magic decades earlier. The documents, part of Project MKULTRA, shed light on a fascinating and little-known operation, the employment of John Mulholland as the CIA's first magician. An accomplished author and America's most respected conjurer of his day, Mulholland authored 2 illustrated manuals for teaching CIA field officers how to integrate elements of the magician's craft into clandestine operations. Due in part to the extraordinary levels of secrecy surrounding MKULTRA, the manuals were considered too sensitive to be distributed widely, and all copies were believed to have been destroyed in 1973. Nearly 50 years after they were written, rumors of the existence of a long-lost copy of the Magic Manuals continued to fly through the corridors at Langley, but many intelligence officers thought they were a myth. To understand the CIA's first magician and how his remarkable manuals came to be, it is necessary to recall one of the most dangerous periods in U.S. history. With its establishment in July 1947, the CIA received 2 primary missions: prevent surprise foreign attacks against the United States and counter the advance of Soviet communism into Europe.